So some of you guys have already seen the title and the thumbnail for this video, and it's all very true. And I'm dead serious when I say this, but I think I'm just done with Call of Duty for good. Like I'm dead serious when I say this, but I just don't think Call of Duty can do it anymore. Call of Duty has just lost its way and it's just out of touch with the entire community now. Like Call of Duty just can't do it anymore. It's not a fun game like it used to be. I remember playing Modern Warfare on the Xbox 360. I remember playing Black Ops 2, and I had so much fun playing those with my friends and my cousin whenever they came over. And I remember playing with some of my best friends in high school over this game, whether it was Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3, whatever. I had so much fun playing these games. And the fact that some of these Call of Duties let you leveled up offline as well, like Modern Warfare 3, it was just spectacular, but we just don't see that amount of attention or care anymore because everything now is just a broken live service game that sells you pay to win loot box items or pay to win character weapons bins or character customizations or pay to win weapons that you get in the item shop. But yeah, I'm going to be going over why I think Call of Duty has lost its way. So let's get into it. So the first ever Call of Duty game I ever played was Call of Duty Finest Hour on the original Xbox back when me and my brother were little kids. I mean, Call of Duty wasn't really that popular back then. I mean, it was just starting out because that was the birth of a great franchise. And honestly, I thought it was a pretty fun game back then. Even though it was pretty stale, I still enjoyed it pretty much every time I woke up. I remember playing Call of Duty Finest Hour, going through the campaign, and I remember having a good time with the game. And I believe the next Call of Duty after that, I think I played on my grandfather's computer for a little bit. I think it was Call of Duty 2, maybe Call of Duty 3. I don't remember fully, but I don't think I played Call of Duty 2, and if I did, I only played like maybe one or two games because I remember getting that at like a Blockbuster DVD store, or a lot of you guys probably don't remember this, but there used to be a store in my hometown called Blockbuster. I don't know if some of you guys still have it, but you get to like rent DVDs and rent like video games there. And I remember, I think Call of Duty 2 or 3 was one of those Blockbuster games that me and my brother rented, and we didn't really like it because we literally couldn't get past the fourth level because the game kept crashing every time. So that was very disappointing. So we brought it back to Blockbuster. So I think the next game after that was probably the start of the golden age for Call of Duty. That's when Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare came out. And honestly, that was probably when I got into the franchise completely because I remember my that during that time my dad was in a band with some good people, and I'm in this band. I met this girl named Sam, and she actually got me into not only Call of Duty but into like shooter games in the first place, such as Halo and Call of Duty and a couple other games as well. Because I'm just gonna say this right now, if it probably wasn't for Sam, I probably wouldn't be playing most of these shooter games in the first place. And if it wasn't for her, then maybe one of my other friends would have probably got me into this game. Next up after that, we had Call of Duty World at War, which was the birth of a great zombies franchise. And I remember when they released DLC for World at War Zombies, everybody loved it, but I'll get to that in a second. But I remember playing the campaign with my brother. That was like the first ever campaign that they introduced co-op in, whether it was offline or online. Dude, World at War co-op campaign was spectacular and I loved it, especially playing it with my brother. And I remember playing multiplayer. Like, dude, I remember playing that back then. It was fantastic. I played the game mode War, which you captured flags, and once you captured a flag, you moved forward into the enemy base until the enemy team had no more flags. And if you had all the flags captured, then the game would automatically end. And that was one of my favorite modes. But after that, there was Zombies, which was the start of the whole franchise. I remember me and my brother, when we played it for the first time, we were like, oh my god, this is scary as hell, dude. And we didn't really survive that long on our first attempt. We survived, I think, 4 rounds, maybe, and then we just died. We were goofballs back then. And we still are goofballs now, but I think after that, we kind of got the hang of Zombies, but I remember when they released DLC for zombies, such as Verrucht and then Shino Numa, and then we had Dur Eyes, which was one of the best zombie maps of all time, and still is to this day, which came back in Black Ops 3, which I'll get to later in the video. But dude, that's when the zombies popularity took off, and that was the birth of the zombies franchise and had a great community because everybody loved it. And then after that, we had Modern Warfare 2, which was one of the most adult Call of Duties of all time. If you guys remember playing online matches against these toxic kids in Modern Warfare 2, they would say the most outlandish things that nobody should have ever said in humankind, and there were some people that could have actually been locked up in jail for saying some of the most horrendous things. And if you're one of those people that survived those Modern Warfare 2 toxic lobbies, good on you. You I'm surprised that you made it this far because a lot of people just did not like it, but that was kind of how the toxic community was kind of formed around Call of Duty. Because if you couldn't handle toxicity in Modern Warfare 2, then there was no way you were going to make it through today. That's all I'm going to say. So, next up after Modern Warfare 2, we had the Black Ops franchise born, so which was Black Ops 1. Campaign was pretty good. I thought the multiplayer was amazing. I remember when they added bots for local play offline as well. And dude, I remember doing 6v6 with bots and I had so much fun. And I think me and my brother even played it too against each other and together. And I think that was probably the most fun we had in a Call of Duty game in a long time because number 1, they actually catered towards more people because not a lot of people wanted to play online against other people. And number 2, if you didn't have an online membership, you could have played against bots, which I thought was spectacular. And then the zombies in that game was pretty solid too. There was Kino, there was 5 with JFK and all the other things. There was Dead Ops Arcade, Ascension, Call of the Dead. Literally, that map, Call of the Dead, was a friendship breaker for a lot of people. If you any of you guys played Call of the Dead on Black Ops 1, you would know what I'm talking about. That goddamn annoying director George. No, you dumb son of a gun. But after that we had I think it was Shangri-La, I think was the next map after that. One of the most hardest maps in Call of Duty history of all time, next to Transit. And then after that, we had the goddamn moon. Or should I say, the moon. Sorry, I just really wanted to do that because I just like saying the moon like that for zombies. But anyway, after that, we had Modern Warfare 3, I believe, which was probably one of my favorite Modern Warfare games of all time because not only was the gameplay solid for multiplayer, but dude, you could level up your weapon progression offline. You could get gold camos, you can level up your guns and attachments and all that stuff as well for offline play. I mean, you could have done the same thing with Modern Warfare 2 as well, but Modern Warfare 3, I thought had a bit more variety. Because I think back then, back in the older Call of Duties, like Modern Warfare 2 and 3, there was like at least 50 or 60 guns on release. And nowadays, you only have like 10 guns because the developers just don't even care because they'll either add a new gun that's like too much memory space for your console, that's like 500 gigabytes, and they'll force you to update your game because of a new battle pass, and they'll try to desperately get you to sell some of your games or try to get you to take off some of your games on your console just because of one gun or one update patch. But the guns in Modern Warfare Fair 2019 and so on, dude, like I don't see the whole point now because there are like 20 guns in Call of Duty nowadays, and back then in Call of Duty there were like 40 or 80 guns. So they can add more guns. They just need to watch their goddamn storage count, and they just need to condense the file sizes. So yeah, I will never understand why we're gonna get 10 guns when back then we had like 50 at release. After Modern Warfare 3, we had Black Ops 2. Literally was one of the best Call of Duties of all time, and I personally think it still is the best Call of Duty of all time. But I remember playing the zombies on that game, and I remember playing on Survival Town with my cousin and my friend, and I remember having a Pack-a-Punch RPG, and I provide air support to them because all they do was train zombies in the center of the map, and I would just fire away because I just wanted to be a goddamn knucklehead. And I think I even killed myself too in the process because there was a zombie behind me and I just panicked and I shot the zombie with the rocket and I killed myself. So that was kind of hysterical back then. And the fact that you could play split screen on 4-player co op zombies now, I think it's fantastic. But now you just can't because live service reasons. So, really disappointing nowadays. So, after Black Ops 2, we had Call of Duty Ghosts, which was the sad decline of Call of Duty. I mean, the campaign was okay, but I mean, it could have been far better. I really hated the ending. Multiplayer was dog crap. Then we had literally one of the most painful, mediocre modes of all time. We had Extinction instead of Zombies, which was kind of a nice break for a little bit, but personally, I thought the Zombies was a little more iconic, and honestly, I didn't really think a lot of people liked Extinction. I really didn't. It was literally just special ops with just aliens. That's literally all it was. So, Call of Duty Ghosts was very disappointing. Then after that, we had Advanced Warfare, which introduced loot boxes. Personally, I thought Advanced Warfare was a fine game. I did have a rough start, but after a while, I became an absolute monster in that game. But that was also the first Call of Duty to introduce pay-to-win loot boxes. I mean, you could have earned them through gameplay progression as well, or by leveling up, but it was just painfully slow. So, very disappointing. But then after that, we have Black Ops 3, I mean, which was probably one of the best Call of Duties of all time, if the microtransaction system really wasn't in place. But, dude, playing Black Ops 3 today is pretty much just not fun because there are hackers and cheaters in the multiplayer, which ruined the fun for that. But the only reason I play Black Ops 3 Zombies, which is what you're seeing right now for gameplay, is because of Zombie Chronicles, because they brought back the World at War in Black Ops 1 and one of the iconic Black Ops 2 maps, Origins. So that's the only reason why I think Black Ops 3 to this day is one of the best Call of Duty zombies out there. So after Black Ops 3, I believe, was Infinite Warfare, which nobody liked. The campaign was dog crap. The multiplayer was awful. The zombies in that mode was terrible. And nobody liked Infinite Warfare. It was one of the worst Call of Duties in history. So, what the community did was they demanded the developers that the franchise go back to boots on the ground. And that's exactly what happened in the next game, which was World at War 2. And World of War II, if you were a fan of Call of Duty, it was just a mediocre game at best. Zombies was forgettable. Multiplayer was okay, but it could have been far better. Campaign was pretty awesome. But then after World War II, we had Black Ops 4. which was one of the most corporate cash cows, literally didn't have a campaign. And the zombies was okay, wasn't great. Multiplayer was alright. And then Modern Warfare 2019 came out, and everyone thought that was going to be the savior of the franchise. But honestly, that game was not as fun. The campaign, without a doubt, was one of the best campaigns. Even though it had a heavy campaign, dude, Modern Warfare 2019 had a fantastic campaign, but everything else about it sucked. And the fact that there are cheaters running rampant now, especially in Modern Warfare 2019, dude, it just proves how awful the game is. Like, dude, the sad part about Call of Duty now is that nobody hides cheating anymore. It just at this point they just prove how lazy and stupid and brain dead the developers are because they do not put anti-cheat into their video games because they generally do not care enough to even try to even listen to the community. You could be the nicest person on the planet and put all your complaints down in the nicest way possible, the developers will just ignore you. You could try to put your complaints down and say it in the meanest way possible, like if you're the meanest person in the entire planet, they're simply going to ignore you. It does not matter. The developers will just completely ignore their community because the only thing that speaks to them is the almighty dollar at this point, which is kind of what I realized about Vanguard, which I'll get into later, but dude, the sad reality is that developers are just not going to listen to us until we do something about it. Like, I don't care if I don't see a new Call of Duty until like 2050. Like, if that means that they stop the yearly release cycle and make Call of Duty decent again, then maybe that will be the only way that Call of Duty will genuinely be a good game. But 2019, if you don't include all the cheaters and that stuff, I think 2019 was decent. And then after that, I think we had Black Ops Cold War, which I really didn't like that much. The zombies was okay, but it could have been far better. And the campaign, I really didn't care for. I mean, the multiplayer was the same thing as Modern Warfare 2019. And then we have another trash ass Call of Duty, which I actually did a recent review about, and it was Call of Duty Vanguard. The campaign in that game, like, it was literally just you watching a movie instead of just playing the game. Literally, you're watching a movie half the time rather than playing it. The multiplayer, same thing. You're playing Modern Warfare 2019, but just in Vanguard. And the zombies mode in that game was so trash. I made a review about that and explained how the zombies franchise was destroyed because Activision did the brain dead stupid move, no pun intended for zombies, but they did the brain dead choice of making zombies objective based rather than round based, which nobody liked, especially me. As a zombies fan myself, I would rather play the abomination of Infinite Warfare rather than Vanguard Zombies. And yes, I will admit, I did buy Vanguard Zombies after I said to give myself a no Call of Duty policy. The only reason I did that was because I wanted to see how bad the game was for myself, and it was on sale for 35% off, and oh my god, the people were right. Like, this game was so dog shit. I'm not joking. And if you're considering getting Vanguard, don't buy it. I would rather you play Black Ops 3 Zombie Chronicles, because you'll actually get more value out of that game. Because nowadays, what the developers will do is they'll try to sell you these silly looking anime waifu boo boo waifu skins for your guns. They'll try to sell you silly little dinosaur weapon charms, or they'll try to sell you these silly little character customizable gear. As I move in my chair, I apologize for the creaking, but they'll try to sell you these stupid, ridiculous, pay to win looking skins for Warzone, and that's pretty much all Call of Duty is nowadays. So, I'm gonna be completely honest. As someone who stuck with Call of Duty since Finest Hour and started his career in COD 4 Modern Warfare on the Xbox 360, I think it's safe to say that I am saying goodbye to Call of Duty. Like, I'm done with the franchise forever. Like, this is probably the last Call of Duty I will ever play. I'll still play the previous Call of Duties like Black Ops 3 Zombies and Modern Warfare Remastered, but I'm done with Call of Duty for good. So, anyway, with that being said, I just thought I'd get that off my chest. So, with that being said, thank you guys all for listening. I know this is probably my longest commentary video yet. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but if there's anyone else that feels the same way as I do, let me know down below. But until next time, you guys, I'm saying my goodbyes to Call of Duty for good, and I'll see you all later.